Hello, it's January 19th, and we're a little late getting garlic in the ground, but we're going to plant some garlic today, and I thought I'd bring you along. We're down in the basement. Don't usually get down here very often, but that's where we keep the garlic. So let's take a look at it. This is the makeshift root cellar. You can see my potatoes are active and anxious to get out. Here's our garlic. Let's bring it out to the light. So this is 2016 garlic. Picked it probably July. We've been eating it, and it's sitting down here ready for planting in 2017. A little story that all of this garlic came from two bulbs that I bought from a catalog maybe 10 years ago. So this garlic has been reproducing itself and being planted back in the garden and sowed back into the ground for about 10 years. So first step is to select the best out of this collection and pull the different toes apart, and then we'll put it out in the dirt. So that clove, which was one of the best cloves in the harvest, yields two. 3, 6, 9, 10 toes. So that's 10 to 1 return. I wish all farming and gardening was so such a good return. This is all we're doing. I like to take as much of the skin off as possible, but I don't want to penetrate into the clove at all. Again, I'm going to shoot for probably 100 plants for this. A little bit about selection. You can see I've almost got enough for what I'm doing. I'm selecting the best. I'm selecting actually the biggest. I have these that retained that kind of white skin, and then I've got some that are darker, have a darker appearance, and I think it's probably a difference between when I harvested it and how wet the ground was. And I'm not too worried about this. You will see the cloves in here are just fine. They're firm. They're nice. They just don't have quite as good of appearance. So I'm selecting big. That's what I want. I want a big clove like that. A big clove like that produces a good piece of garlic. A big head like this, which is ideal. Going out to the garden. Again, it's January, and we got a lovely day. It's 50 degrees out here. I'm going to put the garlic in this small little garden we have near the house. It's been divided up into 4 main beds, and last fall I covered them all with a pretty thick layer of leaves, maybe 6 inches of leaves, which has worked its way down and is now less than that. I think I'm going to put it in this bed here. So what I will do is I will pull those leaves back. I'll add a layer of compost, and then we'll plant the garlic, and then we will cover them back up with leaves, because I don't want the garlic directly exposed. If that ground freezes, it could be damaging to the cloves. So we want to kind of keep them insulated, since we have decided to plant so late. So I will let you know when I get a little further into it. Belief that everything on the property has a purpose, and something that just haven't figured out what those purposes are yet. I think there's a purpose for weeds, whether it's to feed the chickens or feed the compost pile. But leaves, I really like the way leaves compost. I like the way leaves protect the ground and keep the ground very wet. So this year I worked really hard to sweep up all the leaves on the lot and move them into the big garden, or move them here into the little garden. I usually just get something that gives me a straight edge. I'm a little bit, I like straight. And all we're doing is we're taking this clove. It's got a top, which pointy end. It's got a bottom, which is, and I push them in. I don't make a hole. This ground is soft, so we're gonna push it right in. So I push it, all the way down, and I go about 6 inches. That's 2. If you put 2 in the ground, you'll get 2 garlics, but you won't get one good one. I don't go against the dirt or against this wood because it's makes it a little unwieldy to walk through here in the spring. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 8. It's beautiful out here today. Been kicking myself because I didn't get the garlic in the ground. Because normally you want to plant it in October, November, not January. But I've had success even planting it in the spring. And I think what I will do is I will probably plant this much again when we get around to spring and putting transplants out. I think I'll plant another batch of this. I'm not 100% confident this is going to work, but we're going to try. We're going to try to protect it and keep it warm. We have 19 rows, 8 plants apiece. So I'm not going to do math on camera. I'm going to just do a little light compost sprinkle over top. It's really loose, light stuff. Fill in those little depressions. Give a little compaction. Because this garlic is gonna, if it survives, it's gonna sprout, even though it's the middle of the winter. I've had this happen before. You'll come out here a couple warm days, and it'll just start shooting out those first few leaves, and that's what you want. You do it in the fall. You do it in the fall, you get about 6-8 inches of growth before winter kicks in, and that gives the garlic a really good head start. Now what I'm going to do is finish up by really lightly covering it with leaves. I'm not going to put so much on that it creates too dense of a mat, because we're looking for those first leaves to be able to break through. And if we put too dense a piece on there, I'm afraid it will will inhibit its ability to get out. But these leaves will certainly protect it, keep it warm, absorb some sunlight. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Any comments, questions, concerns? I'd love to see them. My channel's small enough that I read all the comments and I get back to them. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Peace.